In 2015, there was about 15 billion handsets, digital handsets connected to what's called the Internet of Things, IoT. In 2020, that's going to grow to 32 billion. In 2025, that's going to grow to over 70 billion. On average, per capita in the world, that's about 8 handsets in some way, shape or form digitally connected to what's known as the Internet of Things. That's a lot of data. I mentioned big data. Really what it is, in essence, is the ability to capture, from a personal data perspective, and information and cipher in some way through different channels about what behaviours of individuals are. It's a bit scary, it's a bit real. Oh, at the moment we're all adding to this online algorithm. What we're doing online is sharpening our online profile from a data perspective. We're feeding the engine constantly with what we're doing. If the slide would change, next slide please. Cute baby. Everyone's seen the cute baby. We're all online. We have Facebook, Snapchat, Twitter, Instagram. We're telling everyone what we're doing online. We tell them where we live, where we go on holidays, where we like to eat, what we like to eat, all about our families, and all that information. Again, I can say all this information is sharpening the profile and adding to the algorithm of what we're doing. Cookies have been dropped on us the whole time as we journey through sites. And we enable cookies. One good thing, I suppose, from a direct marketing perspective is that ad blocking is a growing phenomenon on mobile and on internet. So again, it's good news and things are boding well from a mail media perspective. That's what we call it on Post. It's not only what we're doing in social media, it's also what's happening on the streets. We know today that, for example, Big Brother is watching vehicle registration numbers. It can monitor where you go and your movements. Good news is that Forbes reports that maybe around 5, maximum 10% of that data is ever used, analysed. But the fact is, when we sit in our cars, when I sit in my car, I get a text, I get a pop-up on my smartphone to tell me what my duration will be for my drive home, where the traffic is, offering me an alternative route. I don't ask for that. They know what I'm doing because I'm at the place at every point in time when I return to my home because they know where I live. And that's the reality of today. Obviously, with data protection regulations, all this is going to change. When the GDPR comes in May next year, information on IP addresses and geolocation down to apps will become personal data, so that will change again. Am I talking at 1,000,000 miles an hour? Yes, sorry.
No, you're not.
Thank you. Fool's gold. Data mining has become very sophisticated. I call this, is data a landmine or is it a gold mine? What is it? As people start to dig into data and data mine, we realise that as time goes on, we can only use a tiny percentage of it. Again, next year with GDPR, that will get narrower and narrower again. So as we get very sophisticated in relation to what's going on with data, one thing will never change. I'm a marketer by trade, that's what I do, is that we need to ensure that we are connecting with our customers in a way that's relevant to them and in a cost-effective manner, and to ensure that, like anything that mail media does, it's driving really efficient return on investment stats. So from that perspective, as all posts are, we're challenged with this need to capitalise on this data asset that we sit on. We're sitting on the Hoover Dam of data, and what can we do with it? So like any other business in the world, we're constantly finding out ways to ensure that we're effectively investing in our brands and our customers are effectively investing their market spend. Our next move, and always will be our next move, we're always thinking about the next move, is how we will ensure that our mail media services are effective and relevant to this generation and to the next generation. Hence the service that I'm going to talk about today. Just before I go into it, the complexity in building this front end is keeping it simple, because you can get so confusing and complex for customers. So to keep it simple was the success really to its story. And I'll take you through other ways and means that we can complicate it for people who can understand complication in relation to data. So there's just a quick video to show you the service. I think it even speaks faster than I do, so You want the first video, please?
We'll start by selecting your target area. This is where the intelligence of AdMailer.ie really comes into its own, with smart software that zeroes in on the customers you want to target. First, begin searching for a location. Then drag your mouse to hone in on your catchment area. You can also select multiple areas and adjust these. And just watch your campaign costs change as you do. See? It's automatically adjusting with it, so you'll always be on top of your budget. Now it's time to click on the amazing new Audience Selector tool. It uses the latest census information to help you refine exactly who you're looking for, so no wastage. You can now choose by affluence, family cycle, and industry, amongst others. It really is fantastic. We've helped you here with hundreds of ready-made templates to give you a head start. Or you can have fun creating your own custom design. So, let's get creative with our easy-to-use customization tool. This part is really slick. See how it allows you to add your own text and images from your online library, your computer, or from social media channels. You can even insert your own QR code. Nice work.
It's a very simple online platform. Keeping the number, what we do is, the asset that we're sitting on is the data, 42 different fields of information that tells a story about every single person who lives behind every single door in Ireland, be that residential or commercial. We wouldn't be giving that away too easily, and certainly not in front end. So what we do with the .ie platform is we give 5 or 6 away in order to maybe get them to use it quite simply, or to get in touch with us to grow their campaigns. What AdMailer does is it combines the power, the ease of digital with the power of physical. What we found is, and it's great news, that everything that we assumed when we started out in this journey actually wasn't the case. We thought we were going after the small business owner with average volumes of between 500 and 2,000. What we're finding is the corporate brands are coming to us saying, we need this. We need to understand it and how it works. They understand that direct mail works, but they've lost the data. They're the skip generation of mailers. They rely on digital, and then they're realising that digital is a shrinking opportunity for them. So, you saw from the video, it's very simple to use. We charge, a small business owner would pay an average €2.70 for a postcard. This service charges at 94 cents. We talk about cost of impression, cost per click when you compare mail to media. I met with Ford last week, and they said, look, we need mail, it works, it's just really expensive. And I said, right, well, this is 94 cents, how much is your digital? And they said, well, it's 3 cents per impression. I said, what's an impression? It's useless, it's just serving an ad. How much is your cost per click? €1.09. So I said, right, okay, you can pay it, the best rate, 57 cents per mail, or 94 for this full service, and you're paying €1.09 for a click. The only click that's of any value is the click on the pay now button, by the way. Otherwise, it's entirely worthless. So from that perspective, customers are coming back in their droves. We've had thousands of customers use this since we launched. I mentioned it combines the power of digital with the ease of digital with the power of physical. There's one thing that's a real telltale for this service, in that we have a radio station in Cork, and we have a national newspaper. They use AdMailer to integrate it with their own marketing to drive their acquisition of customers. And they own their own channels, and they're integrating with ours to deliver results from an acquisition perspective. And that in itself is a big tell for the power of the channel. Next generation, always looking ahead, what's next down the road. We have, I call them Office and Mail Media, as a huge business for all of us, but it's also the sleeping giant of marketing. Our generation currently is a generation that's skipped. They're the 10 years of digital. They don't collect databases. We look at our next generation of consumer, the Generation Z, those born between 1996 and 2010. For research purposes, we looked at those born between 96 and 99, today's 18 to 21-year-olds. Great news for everybody here is they love mail. but they also love social media. They love it more than anybody. They love it more than the millennials, which is just a few years up the road from them. In our industry is to ensure that we are speaking to them in a language that they understand. AdMailer can stand shoulder to shoulder with Google AdWords in terms of segmentation and reach. And that's a very powerful message for our post in relation to the marketing mix. We're one in September. This year is our first birthday. Thank you. I'd sing again, but I can't. So in the first year, we've had incredible success. We went from beta to full site in September of last year. We've thousands of customers, and those thousands of customers are coming back. We've won awards. November 2016, we won Best Newcomer 2 months into the full service through the Chambers Ireland Awards. March last year, we won in Best Utilities in Digital Marketing Awards. No other website, no other post, certainly in our history, has ever won a digital marketing award, and we won that in March. And then obviously in Paris in June, we won Best E-commerce, as we're PostEurop responsive, one of them, and Best Innovation as well. So it's certainly a great story. In fact, it paid for the service in terms of investment paid for itself in the first 6 months. We own the technology, we own the IP, and it's purely now in profit. One thing is for sure on this is that we've built a margin into this because we've added value along the way. We can discount, do all the things we were never able to do before with just a mail offering. So it's end to end. Yeah, sorry, I mentioned success, got a bit ahead of myself there. There's a few of our trophies. You can see we won there recently. Good news for us is that it's GDPR compliant. It's a safe marketing, direct marketing channel from a GDPR perspective. The reason it is because we aggregate census data down to 50 houses or 100 houses and apply propensity modelling to that data. You are highly likely to be affluent, you're highly likely to have 2 cars in your driveway, have 3 children, and live a healthy lifestyle, all taking in those 42 different variables within the census. Yesterday in Dublin, we had Rory Sutherland, who is a very famous ad man from Ogilvy in the UK, come over to meet us, all of our directors of marketing in Ireland and all of our MDs of ad agencies. And we discussed GDPR with them. We position it as a solution from a direct marketing perspective, and we get huge feedback. What we're doing now is writing about it. We're going around with thought leadership presentations from industry influencers, and we're educating. And what we're finding is people are coming to us. Our national gas brand, our national electricity brand, the Football Association of Ireland, the GAA, all these different brands who never have a database, granted other utilities do, but others don't, are coming and using AdMailer again and again. So it's definitely a solution that's changed all of our perceptions of what it was going to be originally. Breaking new ground. I spoke before about how light we keep it on the front end, not to give away everything up front. So we have built AdMailer agency. It allows media planners and media agencies finally sell direct mail on media channels. So we're standing beside radio, press, TV and digital in terms of sales. They have access to the census, they have access to the tools, and they're able to sell it because it's end to end and it's easy for the client to use it. There is no stress, no hassle for the client. They just put the order in. 3 days later, the campaign lands. It's a 99% read rate on our machinery. It doesn't touch the size from an operational perspective. So it's entirely self-serve as well, and, like I say, highly profitable. We've launched Enterprise. We allow brands with branches or networks of franchisees to create their own, manage each of their marketing messages through their branches through creative data and budgets. So they can allow budgets, so they get enterprise and they get more access to data as well. We limit what they can see, we manage what they can see. The bigger the customer they are, the more they get. Software as a service, it's built in the cloud, it can translate to any country. We could be selling Aran jumpers from the Aran Islands into Spain, beach holidays in Spain into France, as if every single, we're only limited by our imaginations and how we can connect internationally in relation to selling this service. And the next piece is closed loop conversion. We're selling now mail with data. The next one is to sell mails with parcels. We use AdMailer to create the need, and then we fulfill it with our parcel delivery service. No television ad can do that, no radio ad can do that, and we can do it while charging a premium for it as well. Sorry, so I talked about the idea of selling diamonds from Dubai. If I spoke to somebody in New Zealand Post and Australia Post, And they said, if I use this, can I sell my product into France by using AdMailer in France, or can I sell my product into Ireland? The answer is yes. Cross-border trade will open up so much more through the post if we are all networked in relation to having this service available across all of our countries. We're only limited by our imaginations in terms of where this can go, and it's really, really easy and really, really simple. So, sorry, I'm saying this is a customer. This guy here is a customer, Darren. Darren was one of our first customers to ever use the service. He is a third-generation butcher based beside our head office, the GPO. He has brought his family business to opening a network of chain of restaurants and butchers across Ireland. He loves it. I wanted to show the passion and show this video of how much he's achieving 12 and 13% response rates with this service. So I'll show you him using it in action.
Darragh Buckley is my name. I'm the director of FX Buckley Butchers. It's a business that's been going on since the early 1930s. We've a massive passion for quality meat, and we've built up a really strong tradition and reputation in Dublin. We chose AdMailer because what we wanted to do was actually generate new business. The response rate was excellent. AdMailer has some fantastic tools that are very user-friendly. The one that I particularly liked was the audience selector tool, which allowed me to pinpoint customers that I wanted. It just took me through these very simple steps. We got 11% return rate, which no other advertising campaign will be able to give me. It's something that I would highly recommend to anyone in business. I would definitely use AdMailer again.